Strims. Because it don't always strim. We've had the strim, not strim before.
That's happened.
Although I think it's strimming. Let me refresh that page. Okay. 2 for 2. The other funny thing is I only look to see it. YouTube just worked. And I think there's at least one person that does it every year. Okay, I'm hit.
Time to go.
Did you kick the NHB streams?
You're joking, right?
Isn't that what you do? You got to kick the streams and you start the streams?
There's no NHB streams.
Oh.
I think we're going on over a year without NHB streams at this point.
They could come back.
It could.
We'll just start them up and not tell anybody. Okay, here we go.
There's nothing to start up, though. That server's been dead for...
It may just need power.
Well, no, it needs a... Remember, didn't Rico take it offline because it was too compromised? It needs an update? Like the OS it was on was...
Yeah, something like that.
So he'd have to build a new server for us.
We'll go plug it into his neighbor's house.
Super tramp.
Or one of us could build a server.
That's true.
We won't, but we could.
Could build a Windows 98 server.
Al-Qaeda will have it taken over in 5 minutes. Stream all their propaganda.
How dare they? How dare they?
All right.
So you think your schooling is funny? I guess it's hard not to agree. Say it all depends on money and who is in your family tree. Right, bloody well right, got the bloody right to say. Right, bloody well right, got the bloody right to say. You bloody well right, you got a right to say. You bloody well right. blunts down in the detail. Take 'em to a higher plane. Had you cried, oh, I should say, yeah, well. And in the meantime, hush your face. Right, you bloody well right. You got the bloody right to say. Right, you bloody well right. You got the bloody right to say. You bloody well right. You got a right to say. Right, you bloody well right. You got the bloody right to say. Trey, we will talk about Norm's ISO ridiculous play call. Don't you worry. Right, you're bloody well right. You got the bloody right to say. Right, you're bloody well right. You got the bloody right to say. You bloody well right. You got it right. You got it right. You bloody well right. You got the bloody right to say.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you.
Welcome, human. I am ready for you.
We show onboard computer synchronization.
Roger that.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Let's rock! Oh, you're going straight to hell for that one.
That's the fact, Jack!
Back off, man. I'm a scientist.
Is this moron number one? Put moron number two on the phone.
Now, funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you, I make you laugh. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
Yeah, I know that, dude.
You're mocking me, aren't you?
Mocking. Monkeys might fly out of my butt.
Uh-oh, my heart just stopped. Ah, there it goes.
Okay, sounds familiar.
Yeah, I realize that this song helps you.
Wait. You know my wait, what?
You know my name, look up the number.
I'm drawing a blank now. It wasn't what I thought it was. It wasn't what I thought it was.
The song's easy to remember the lyrics to. Because the lyrics are just, you know my name, look up the number. Pretty much over and over.
It's sort of like I've come here to chew bubblegum. That's right. On Sunday, August 11th of the 2024.
And the reason I play this song now, on my past show, Brian said, think of a Beatles song. So I immediately thought of the one Beatles song that that I figured he doesn't even know exists, and I was right.
And that's this one?
This Chestnut. It was on the B-side of Let It Be, and that's it. Well, It was also on the Past Masters and the Rarities album in the 80s.
Did they have so little music that they had to put stuff like this on the back of a record? I mean,
well, this song's got an interesting history.
Or is it a guarantee that they don't want nobody playing no B-side, no how?
It's a perfect B-side song. Where else are you putting this?
Well, it is. That's what I'm saying. It is. You're right.
But
I mean, that'd be the worst thing that could happen, though, is you have a B-side take over what the A-side was supposed to do, which happens sometimes.
That has happened. Like I think what Maggie May was a B-side. Originally. But the reason this helps you, because some years ago, I asked you, what's that song you normally use to come back from breaks? And this is back a while ago.
Oh, the one where I said it was the Stones?
No, you said it was the Beatles.
I said it was the Beatles.
It is the Stones.
It is the Stones. Yeah, it was the other way around.
And I knew you were coming back from break with no Beatles song. Well, this here's a Beatles song, but Brian Jones guests on it playing a saxophone, who's in the Rolling Stones. So it's a Beatles song with a Rolling Stone playing on it. So clearly that's what caused your confusion.
That's exactly.
You were thinking of this song.
That's exactly what it was. Johnny's finally figured it out after all these years.
This is why Dune can't keep the Beatles and the Stones clear.
Congratulations.
Because Brian Jones played saxophone on an obscure B-side he'd never heard of.
I know that saxophone. It's got to be.
That was the best part of the song.
Oh, man. That is interesting, though, the B-side stuff. Like, we got to have a B-side. Let Joey do it. Okay, fine. It has. What's this one? Angry Crowd. There we go. I mean, think about this. I mean, they actually spent time. And it kind of makes you wonder, did they actually record this, or was this just somebody just putting shit together and, here, let's throw this out there?
Well, I mean, what happened is John Lennon saw the cover of a phone book, which had the catchphrase on it, you know my name, look up the number, and he started working on a song, but he didn't get any further than that. And so they just kind of turned it into a kind of a jokey record, and then it sat on the shelf for 3 years, and then they needed a B-side for Let It Be.
He had the idea that was good enough. There we go.
Right, like they finished this in '67, then they didn't do anything with it. John Lennon was actually going to release it as an A-side, credit it to the Plastic Ono Band, but the other Beatles vetoed John Lennon putting out a group song as a solo. And it was going to put What's the New Mary Jane, which was a leftover from the White Album sessions, on the B-side of that.
You know way too much of this stuff. Listen, if you're going to have this much geek knowledge, then you have to throw in some tidbits like, but then they had him killed. And just didn't gloss past it, keep on going. And you say people go, whoa, wait, what?
But then John Lennon found out that a fan had a recording of something that he wanted a copy of, so he traded a promo, like a test pressing 45, to that fan for the recording that the other fan had. Imagine being a fan with such an obscure recording that John Lennon's like, I'll give you a rare unreleased single for a copy of that.
That's interesting. Wow, Johnny's knowledge of music is outstanding. And the bad thing is you could just make shit up and I would never know. I'd be like, oh yeah, saxophone, Rolling Stones, yeah.
Usually you Google it and go, oh my God, you're right.
No. I only Google certain shit that I think is really sketchy, like blood pressure cuffs for cats. That I'm Googling. And I still have that Google up here. I realize.
Well, how do you think they check cats' blood pressure?
Well, I never knew they did. I just thought
be.
I thought they did. I didn't know.
It's kind of like that Monty Python sketch. How do you feed a fly? You don't. It dies.
I've had.
Oh no! Or was that an ant?
I've had dogs my whole life. Never once seen them get a blood pressure cuff put on them. So I didn't know. And according to this one, and this one here, you can buy. You know, it fits all the way up to an elephant, according to this.
Oh yeah,
that's it right there. Cat, dog, elephant, because there's no other animals need this.
Those are the three.
Those are the three
that have blood pressure.
That's it. That's it. And I'm jealous because that's some pretty good numbers right there. I like that.
That dog's got better numbers than Dunerino over here.
I'm kind of digging that. I'm kind of saying, damn, that dog's got it going on.
Well, what the hell has a dog got to stress over?
It's true. Where you been? Where you going? Where you gonna be?
Oh, there's that.
When you get home.
So, anyways, I promised Dune I'd give the story on the show here because I was talking about dinner. So
food.
Dune may have noticed I've been spending a whole lot less time this summer chilling with Mr. Bean than I normally do during the summer, and it's just worked out that way.
It's
but
odd.
Next weekend,
you've been kind of a beanie kind of guy for a while, and then you're
sometimes I Google the weather and it says the weather's going to be bad, and then I find out it was good and I missed a good weekend. And sometimes I Google the weather and I.
For those that don't know, Mr. Bean is who Johnny hangs out with at the beach.
Mr. Bean's he's referring to my T-shirt.
Yes.
So, anyways, this was another week, and I'm like, whatever. I don't know what's going on. No one's talking about what's going on, so I'm just not going. And but next weekend I'm going because next weekend is my dad's birthday weekend, and then also I have a pair of nephew twins that are turning 3, and they're having.
You and your dad like sit around and blow fatty together or something for your birthday?
No.
Okay, I wasn't sure,
but there'll be cake.
Okay.
Even though he probably shouldn't have cake, but
beer
cake.
And cake.
He stopped drinking the beer with once the medications could conflict.
Liquor and cake. There we go. Yeah, that's true.
So just the cake.
I haven't had a beer.
But I'll have the beer and we'll all have cake.
There you go. You can have the rest of this gin, Johnny. I opened the bottle of gin last night. I had a little bit of gin.
What would you mix it with?
Gin. Well, of course, with my Mountain Dew. What else am I going to mix it with? That's all I had.
Okay.
My Deadpool pool.
You didn't get any, like a bottle of tonic water?
No. I did. This was just kind of a spur of the moment thing. And
you've had that for weeks.
I've had it for weeks. All you have to do
is write tonic water on the list.
No, you're right.
Right under ho-hos.
You're right. Listen, Deadpool, you don't even know, Sparky. You don't even know. I'm gonna take a sniff of this to see if I'm still right. But I'm pretty sure I want to see if I still have the same sniffiness as I had last night. Exact same. You know what it's this is, I don't know. I'm trying to think what in Johnny's world I could equate this to. To me, this smells like a slot car motor. That's what I smell when I smell. Don't turn your nose up. You're just not a geeky car dude like me.
No. I know the smell.
It smells like a DC motor.
Yeah, I know the smell, but I wouldn't drink that smell.
That's what this is. Is that gin or is that this gin?
That's that gin, I think.
Because I'm telling you, that's what it is. It smells like it. It don't taste much better. See, Sparky knows exactly what that tastes like.
Now, how many people remember complaints coming down into the basement from upstairs because the slot cars are interfering with the antenna signal on the TV?
No, I don't remember that. I don't think I remember that.
Oh, yeah. It makes all kinds of snow and static. Although then again, maybe that's on the VHF band. Maybe you're getting in UHF channels over in Wichita.
No. We never had that. There was UHF here, but we never used it. I didn't find out.
You also typically use
I did
VHF
not realize.
band?
I did not realize there was even UHF stuff until I moved out of the house. That's how long that was.
Well, I figured out there is UHS stuff. When I figured out that's where I get in Snowy Three's company.
There wasn't that
from
much.
Philly.
There wasn't that much around here because I think I tried it and never. But then again, here's the thing: we never had an antenna hooked up to the UHF part of it, so I never had it. There wasn't any around. But later on in life, there was quite a few UHF channels.
Heck, you could use a coat hanger to get in UHF
Johnny,
channels.
listen, geekified. I didn't know that. I wasn't allowed to jack with my TV or my parents' TV. I just we had the big 3 and sometimes 4 is what I called it.
Every now and then you got in the Dumont network.
Well, what it was is we could get 3, 10, and 12, which was ABC, NBC, CBS. And then PBS was transmitted out of a smaller town, Hutchinson, Kansas. And you could kind of get that sometimes. If the antenna was pointed the right way, I could pick it up.
So if only the PBS signal came in stronger, maybe we would have had a different Dune.
No, because it was strong enough to watch Sesame Street. I mean, that's all it was. No. That's all you watched it for. I don't know what you were watching it for, Johnny.
Mr. Rogers.
No, I watched Mr. Rogers. I watched
Every now
Mr.
and
Rogers.
then the
I watched
Electric Company.
Sesame Street, Electric Company. Absolutely, Electric Company.
Then as I got older, Newton's Apple.
No, and then the News Zoo Review. What the hell was that? I don't even know what that was. I never watched it. But now see, Newton's Apple. That was after me. I didn't watch that one.
Yeah.
But
where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
That was beyond. That was beyond.
Square One.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
No,
never
that's my
watched
generation.
that. You know what else is interesting? Did you watch, or was that Chicago? Which one had Bozo? Was that Chicago? The clown show, the big clown show. That was, I think
that's before my time.
But I think
that might have been.
But I don't think that was in your area. I think that was more Chicago than it was.
Well, I think there was a Bozo the Clown on WPIX out of New York, but
Captain
that's before
Noah.
my time.
Don't remember that one either.
Mm.
But no, that's the ones. I mean, everybody had their local people.
What
Like
about,
we had
what about Hachi Malachi? Is this Sparky know Hachi Malachi?
No, I don't remember that. We had local people here. We had a Freddie Fudd who was our guy because we had a dude that played an astronaut that was kind of cool. He did local TV, and that was Major Astro is who that was. And then we had Freddie Fudd, and then Freddie Fudd also no wait a second, which one was it? Because there was one that did one of those shows plus he was Santa Claus. he was kind of multifaceted, but
so anyways, I was gonna start talking about. So since I didn't go to the beach, but I thought I might go to the beach.
Yes.
When we were grocery shopping last week, we're like, well, what should we do for dinner Sunday? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I might go to the beach. I might not. So tell you what, let's not plan a dinner for Sunday. And then if I'm around, we'll just order something. Yep. And so today I'm, simming.
Are you picky when you order? Or you just go to town and go, price is no object. Hook me up.
Somewhere in the middle. Price is no object, but I ain't ordering from no steakhouse.
I realize when it's all said and done and I order food that sometimes I have to not let myself go, oh my God, I just spent on X, Y, and Z.
Cheaper than any meal I'm going to be eating in Disney.
It usually happens when I order in something from Taco Bell. You're like, oh my God.
There's nothing like looking at the price for delivery and tip and everything for the Taco Bell that is literally 3 minutes down the road to go, you know what? I can drive my happy ass there.
Yes.
So I now have a rule. I only order Taco Bell for delivery when I am
It only happened.
drunk.
There was one time where I'd already taken my pants off from work. I'm done.
And they don't go back on.
They don't go back. Once they come off,
they turn into a pumpkin once they hit the floor.
Once those things are there, they're off. Off is off, and that's it.
So, Dune, do you just like chill in your boxers, or
no? I put on. I got some.
Do you have home pants?
I got home pants. I got the fuzzy shorts I put on.
The fuzzy shorts.
The gray thin sweatshirt. tile.
That's adequate for a car drive-through.
You know, it is, but it also it makes carrying my firearm really weird, because then I have to stick it in the console, and then people never mind. But I just
and that would just be crazy going to the drive-through and back
without my yes,
without your firearm.
Absolutely. I don't know what town you live in. I'm in Kansas. Shit gets real here. I ain't going to no Taco Bell
without a firearm.
Without my firearm. Are you kidding me? That's right. Shit can happen anywhere. Thank you, Sparky. Sparky's on my side. That's exactly how it is.
I don't know. I feel safer without a firearm than I would feel with one. That's me.
I feel safer without you having one also, if that makes you feel any better.
So we're in agreement.
We are in agreement. You agree you shouldn't have one. I agree you shouldn't have one. Absolutely. Oh man. But anyway, yeah.
But so anyways, now mind you, I have kind of more recently been like, you know what? Why do we order all this food to come here and eat here when we are now living in a time again when going out of the house is in fashion? You know, so I've kind of started to do like, let's go out to eat at places when we are going to eat out. It saves on delivery fees and we get out of the house.
No, and I agree. I think we do that on Saturdays and stuff like that. We go out.
But today I go downstairs and the Olympic closing ceremonies are on the TV there, and I'm not going to disrupt the Olympic closing ceremony. I'm not going to call France and be like, hey, we're getting ready to go out to dinner. Could you just pause the ceremony right now and we'll let you know when we're back? And,
you know what you just say? France. That's what you say. That's what you say. No, I'm kidding. There might be somebody from France here. I apologize. I didn't mean that.
So I'm like, all right. There's this local diner type place down the road from us that also delivers. We've had them delivered several times. I'm like, well, we'll just bring up their site, go to their menu, throw some sandwiches and sides and stuff like that, and get
this sounds
food.
Well, then you should give me the name so I can check said place out.
Well, no, because I'm going to say bad things and I'm going to say good things, and so I'm just not going to say anything. But
I'm not going to call them, Johnny.
No, I already did. I emailed them.
I promise.
We have our new animated GIF.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Remind me, Sparky. Nice caption, I promise, and that little smile.
Anyway. Sandwiches and stuff. Sounds. I want a sandwich right now. I want because you're talking about it.
So first of all, I go to the DoorDash site, and some reason they edit their menu on DoorDash.com to only have beverages. So I don't know what. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just as confused as you are.
Yeah,
that face you made, that's the face I made.
That's somebody obviously screwed that one up. There you go.
So I go to their own website, and their own website goes through a service called Toast to do delivery and pickup, and it says Toast.
Toast. Okay. I thought you said toes, and I was going to kick you off my stream.
No, this is Toast.
Stop. Fucker, I missed it. Thank God. Oh, I caught it on the replay. You son of a...
Is Mod Pro not here? We're going to have to send her the replay now.
God dang it.
This is how you know Mod Pro's not
Toast.
here.
Thank you.
Toast.
Thank you, Warlock.
Toast.
No, I want them barred. We want all toes barred.
Oh, Mod Pro is here. It just wasn't as funny as I thought it was. So I go through the menu and I'm like, okay, pulled pork sandwich. That sounds good. I'll do the pulled pork sandwich. Let's get some. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know about fries this time. I see mashed potatoes and gravy's an option. Let's try the mashed potatoes. See how that. I put that in, and I'm like, you know what? Mozzarella sticks. Got to have some mozzarella sticks. So I put that in there. And I'm like, hey, Kristen, what do you want?
So far, you're several for several.
And so I asked Kristen, what would you like? And she goes, cheesesteak and curly fries and a Cobb salad. So I put the cheesesteak, the curly fries, the Cobb salad, and I got everything. So mind you, this is like a 15-minute process of reading the menu, making decisions, putting the order together, and I go to the checkout button, and it's a checkout for pickup, no delivery option.
Oh, no.
Even though the website clearly says delivery or pickup, I get to the end and it goes pickup. And when I go to, there's no option to change that. There is just no.
There, I had that one ready. I was looking for the clang. It didn't have the clang.
Yeah, I was pissed because I just went through all this time and it's like, why the fuck are they not doing delivery? It's not like it's not their drivers. It's going through another service. They just need to prep the order for someone. What difference does it make if I pick it up or if some other car picks it up that I got to pay through another third-party service?
But it was broken.
Why are they not?
And it was broken on the other app, though, is what you're saying.
Right. And yeah, and the other app doesn't even have a full menu. I can only order an iced tea.
Did you try Grubhub? Maybe that one works.
Dead to me.
Oh,
Grubhub is dead to me.
I forgot about Grubhub.
Dead.
That's the only one I use most of the time.
I don't feel like sending more food to my last address.
Because that's a thing.
Dead to me.
I forgot. Grubhub, so Johnny would only order if he had a Mac. That's right.
So Kristen says, well, we could order from this other place that also has cheesesteaks. They don't have pulled pork sandwiches, but they also have cheesesteak. So she got her cheesesteak or Cobb salad. I ordered a sausage parm sandwich and mozzarella sticks. So anyways,
from a different place.
I sent an right.
Okay.
So meanwhile, while I'm waiting for the food to arrive, I pull up the website of the original place just to verify I saw what I saw, and I saw what I saw where it said pickup or delivery.
Cap lock engaged. Good.
So I sent an email, and I sent it not too nasty, but there was a bit of a nasty tone to it because I spent time on this site based on their instructions, and I got something different. That doesn't sit well with me. So I
wanted to buy local, and you wouldn't let me.
I'm like, I've been a regular customer for a number of years at your place. I don't understand what's happening. I go to order from your website, and it says it's for delivery or pickup, but when I get to the end, they only have a pickup option, not a delivery option. This isn't very good customer service to have a site advertise one thing, and then after you spend time putting your order together, be bait and switched like this. I'm like, I'll just go take my business somewhere else. And they sent me an email being like, oh, thank you for bringing this to our attention. We're very sorry about that. We're going to contact Toast, who's the provider there, and try to figure out what's going on. So that was not, it turns out that's not their intended design. I thought maybe they were like, oh, we're too busy on Sunday. Let's just not do a delivery.
Yeah.
To try to control their amount of orders, which it's like, hey, if you drive your car here, fine. But if you want someone else to drive it for you, we don't got time for you. Yeah, I don't know. So I sent them an email back saying, hey, sorry for my tone. I'm glad to hear this is a mistake, and I look forward to,
well, good.
There again soon.
There you go.
So that was my dinner story.
But what you got, was it good?
Oh, yeah, it was a good sausage parm sandwich.
So you went somewhere.
It wasn't no pulled pork, though.
You went you had your mouth all set for pulled pork is what it was.
Yeah, I had to switch gears from pulled pork to sausage parm.
I get you.
It works.
I don't know. The sausage parm sounds pretty good too.
Oh yeah.
Before I forget the question, I was bringing up Google, and is this bird being fired at? I'm not really sure what I'm seeing here. This bird appears to be dodging. I mean,
I think this is because the Olympic closing ceremonies are happening.
That's what it is. I just thought this. I thought this poor bird. He's there's the pellet gun thing is still going on. They're trying to shoot the bird now. What the hell? I don't know. Yeah, I did notice there was some of this, but the ceremonies were on. We wouldn't have. We had Chinese today for lunch. That's what I had. One plate. I just had one.
Sparky's making salmon. Got pizza.
I went to a buffet and had a single go through. You'd have been proud of me. Could have went crazy. Didn't do it. No, it was a...
Because as Garfield says, never go back for seconds. Pile it on the first time.
That's right. I piled it on, and I had me a cup. There was some eggs. Had some eggs. Had a little bit of a salad. Had some olives.
Remember when KFC had buffets?
Oh God, yes. We had one up until COVID ruined it. There was a few here that were that's so good too. And the one we had still was putting chicken fried steaks on the buffet. That's how awesome it was. Oh yeah, it was the bomb.
Because I remember back in when I was living in Maine, the KFC Taco Bell near us had the KFC buffet, and then one day they just decided no, this isn't profitable, and they took it out.
Well, that's what happened here. There was a couple of places that had it, and then one kind of took it away. The one that was on the highway kept it because it was always busy. I mean, because it was on the highway. And then, like I said, when COVID hit, it shot that, you know what. And guess where guess what's there now? Nothing. That's what's there. Nothing. They took the buffet out, and they couldn't survive on $40 chickens alone.
Go figure.
Because it's so expensive, man.
So, I got to tell you, Facebook is getting scary.
Getting?
Well,
it depends on what it is.
This is a new level of scary. Because today I log into my Facebook, and I blocked out part of the name to protect the not innocent. And this is what showed up. This came up. And for long-time listeners of my show, yes, that Tabby.
Wait, what? Wait, whoa. You got Zuckerberg has been tuning into your shit.
Yeah, that is. I don't know if it's the same Tammy, but the last name is the Tammy that is the subject of the road trip from hell story to Canada.
How can we figure out what that picture is?
How in the fuck did Facebook match up?
Johnny, I need you to send me the link to that profile. Is what you need.
It's set to completely private and won't show any details whatsoever unless you are a friend.
But I could message said link though.
I'd rather not.
Hi, I am the Dune. How are you? I am fine.
So I understand you're into self-harm.
So I got this friend. Oh, she's probably way over that by now.
She can be the type of thing you just.
She can be on to really cool stuff.
She's on something, I'm sure.
Oh, that is funny. Now you have to. Here's the thing: you have to kind of wonder. You have Damon talk to her. There we go. You have to kind of wonder where that comes from because could it be one of those things?
Know.
Could it be one of those things where you have like maybe searched that name before and she's searched your name before? Do you have some mutuals? How about that?
I don't think we have mutuals. And if I've searched her name, I've never if I search her name, it's just more of a looking for details to add to the telling of the story. Like, because it's always fun to go, where are they now? Well, because last I knew she was cleaning hotel rooms poorly at a hotel and probably was going to get fired. But that's over 10 years ago. So I have no, postscript for my story anymore. So maybe I searched the name on Facebook. Not because I wanted to, actually make contact again. But then that's a good question. Has she been searching my name on Facebook? Because I've not received a friend request from her.
Well, this is what made me think about this. Is this sign right here? I saw this the other day. There you go. For those that don't know, it's a guy holding a sign in the street that says "Stop showing me ads for things I just talked about."
Now Sparky points out that. I guess a number of weeks ago when I was telling the story again, I was looking for names. So maybe, but still, it's that's quite a jump for Facebook to go, you searched this name mind you, there were multiple Tammys with that last name on Facebook. So, like, again, there's got to be something else to it. Maybe she's searched my name in the past. Maybe Facebook has seen, hey, you two have been searching for each other. We got to get you two.
No,
together.
I think it might work that way. Believe me, AI is some weird shit. I mean, it can do all kinds of straight. I mean, look, here's a perfect example. Look at this happy person right here. Stop talking about your problem. Screaming into the telephone. No, it is amazing. That stuff is creepy. I'm telling you. My wife and I have been like that, where I've talked about something and I'll say, look at this, and turn the phone, and it's like dishwasher, whatever.
It is totally spying.
It is absolutely El Freakerino. Believe me.
So that's that story.
I mean, you've seen the people that do the thing now, where like the boss leaves the phone on his desk, and everybody starts going around it and talking. How to be nice to your employees.
Well,
all employees deserve a raise. Things like that.
Well, speaking of bosses and phones, it just reminded me of. So I think a few times I made reference to when I worked at Tharco, I was in a unique situation because the office I worked at served as both a location that manufactured for that region and the corporate headquarters. So it was almost like I lived in between two different worlds that shared this building, because there was people that worked for corporate and people that worked for San Lorenzo location. And I supported all of them. So to me, there was no difference, but to them, there was a world of difference. But anyways, the point is that
the we's and the they's.
The general manager of the location office was a dude named Shane for my last number of years at that location, and Shane was an interesting general manager. But
Shane, he's got a gun. Oh wait, no, that's a different one.
No,
different.
He was one of those types of people that he had the phone on his main desk and the computer on the secondary desk off to the side, just so that he could check his email. You know, you find
it wasn't used a lot, is what you're saying.
You find that there's an old school mentality that can exist among certain senior management members, that they do their work at their desk and the computer's just a tool to the side.
That's right.
And the employees are a tool to the other side.
For sending texts now and then.
And you're probably picturing Shane as being elderly. He wasn't. So I don't know what that was all about. But the point is that Shane sometimes had to deal with certain frustrating situations. There was I've talked about some of the clusterfuck situations at this office, and Shane was trying to keep it all together the best he could. But he also was. So the first thing about Shane was that he learned that paging was a. Yes.
I'm bringing his song up. Go ahead.
So Shane figured out something that us in IT were trying to prevent anyone from figuring out, which is that when they migrated the old phone system to a new phone system, they had to connect the new phone system to the old paging system by tying the paging system into a phone extension, which means that you picked up the phone, you dialed an extension, and then it would go beep, and then the intercom was open for you to page your message to, so that if there's someone out in the back of the plant.
I don't miss any of that. I hate that. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Because the shipping department is.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Because the shipping department needs to get in touch with the dude on the forklift in the other side of the plant that's got ear protection on. And so you just keep paging until he happens to be in earshot enough for it to get through the ear protection.
Poor guy's in there taking a whiz somewhere.
Now, the problem with this is oftentimes what would happen is someone would call someone's extension. They wouldn't pick up. So then they would hang up, pick up, call the extension to page, make the page for that person who didn't pick up the first time, and then hang up the phone. Dune, do you see the problem with this course of actions?
Listen, I've seen so many pager fails that I could go on for hours.
Well, you know what? So you know what? Here's exactly what happened there that the person didn't realize. in an old school system where you have old phones tied into modern systems, hanging up and picking up automatically switches from line 1 to line 2 and puts line 1 on hold. So here's the actual unintended course of action.
This is different
that
than
would
what
take place. So let's say they're trying to get a hold of Rich, who's taking a nap in his little office.
Because you're talking about when you used to go do 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 that thing. That was the sound. That was the sound.
So right. So they call Rich's extension, and Rich doesn't pick up, and it goes to voicemail. So they hang up and they pick up. And it does the do, which means that they just put Rich's voicemail box on hold.
Yes.
And then they call the paging extension. They page Rich, please call shipping. Please call.
Yeah, that's right.
And when you hang up a call on line 2 with a call on line 1 on hold, that is a transfer. So they transferred the paging system's call to Rich's voicemail box. So now the paging system is just transmitting silence because it's on a call with Rich's voicemail.
Yes, that's pretty common.
And then the shipping department would get all bent out of shape because, oh my God, we can't send out our useless pages. and so then we have to go basically into the phone room and pull the plug out of the system and plug it back in.
See what I was more used to is people that didn't actually hang up the phone, and then they would start calling the number, and that's going over the page. But the best ones, the best ones though, is when somebody pages somebody, doesn't get the phone hung up, and then spends the next 10 minutes talking shit about people while the phone is still off the hook. Paging.
Well, this story is going to come full circle around to something like that.
But that's happened. I've heard that several times. That's
Sparky suggested adjusting the flash timer. I had no idea how to do that, so we just try to educate people. Don't do that. But so then one day, I don't know what happened, but somehow an automated recording got transferred to the paging system. So I walk in one morning and this automated phone menu is just piping through the entire sound system of the office. It's like, oh my God.
For this, press 5. For this, press 72.
And I'm like making the boop sound for 5 towards the ceiling, and it's not working. I'm not really doing that.
God, that would be awesome, though, wouldn't it?
So here's so for those that are creative, you might have picked up on something. Wait a minute. If the paging system is an extension that you dial to get into, and if you call the main menu from outside and you could enter in party's extension if you know it, does that mean any old dipshit from outside could just call our number and dial the extension?
Why,
and
yes.
just start transmitting?
Yes, it does. Listen, and that happens everywhere. Everywhere that happens, and then they have to make it not happen. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So us at IT, we figured out this could happen. So let's not publicize that page because only internal employees know that extension number. And let's not publicize to the internal people that paging can be accessed that way. But at some point when having a conversation with Shane about why this is, because Shane's very concerned about this disruption happening in his office, and he's, I got shipping complaining about, they can't page. What is going on? And I explained to him this whole story, including with me going boop to the ceiling and all that. And at some point,
there we go.
At some point, Shane stops thinking about how can we stop these disruptions to how can I use this to my advantage. And that's when Shane realized, do you mean I could call the main office from my cell phone and dial that extension and start paging? I'm like, there's nothing in the system to prevent that.
He's gonna play his theme song.
I'm like, Shane, let's keep that tidbit between you and me. And he's like, oh, no, I won't tell anyone. But what I didn't make Shane promise me to do was to not exploit that himself. And thus began regular occurrences of random pages coming through over a bad cell phone connection of Shane insisting, Maria, please call Shane on his cell phone. Maria, please call Shane on his cell phone.
Oh, that's awesome. Poor Maria.
So this way, if Shane's on the road and he wants to get an answer to a question right now, he can just let the whole building know Maria needs to drop everything and dial his cell number.
Poor Maria. That's funny.
But the real story that I was going to with this was one day Shane was frustrated, had some problems with something. And so he picks up the phone and he makes a page for someone to come down to his office. And this was clearly had the tone of you're being called to the principal's office type of vibe.
That's right.
And he slams down the phone and he misses the cradle by a little bit.
Yes, that's always awesome.
And thus the phone is resting without pushing the button down, leaving the page active.
Yes.
As he proceeds to begin letting off a bunch of expletives to whoever he is ranting at.
FF and the F's for the F's and one of the F is Maria and the FF and the FF and then extra F with more F.
He is cursing
on top
up
of the F
storm.
that you already have. Lots of F's. Yes, I get my little F-bomb out.
Which resulted in my Fong jumping up and running down the hallway. And I'm like, good, I guess I don't have to do that now. So, which starts with the sounds of Shane being upset that he's being interrupted so abruptly to like a click all of a sudden. It's like, hot mic!
Yep, it's happened before. There was actually I won't say the name, but ModPro knows who it is. There's another broadcaster that would sometimes have words with his wife, and did the same thing. Forgot to turn his mic off during a broadcast while he was yelling extremely loud.
Did he get canceled?
And lots of people were going, hot mic. I'm going like, your mic's on. Dude's just going to town, man. F, and F, and F. I'm going to F into the FFs, and then you're an F. And stop effing unless I want to F. And you're a bigger F than me. And, yeah, it was interesting, so.
One of my most embarrassing moments in all my years of doing this.
That was embarrassing for me because I was like, damn, I hope she beats his ass later.
Let's hope so.
But anyway.
Oh, I guess the most embarrassing moment of my show was the time I accidentally drunk dialed my grandmother during a show, but we're not going to tell that story. That's pretty much the story. But the second most embarrassing moment was I was getting ready to do my show on Wild Bunch, and it was a music show. And you know how my mind works. I have something in mind, and if anything that comes along to try to deviate my plan is frustrating to me.
Don't move Johnny's cheese is what he's saying.
Yes.
Leave my cheese alone.
I'm probably on the spectrum. We got people in white lab coats that are going to do some studying and figure that out in some weeks. But
that's right.
Anyways,
here's Johnny's cheese. Let's move it over here.
So this is back when I was in Oakland. So I'm living in Oakland, getting ready to do one of my late night shows on Wild Bunch. Mm-hmm. Probably a period of time when I was not on an HB because fuck those assholes. During that period of time is what I would have said.
Yeah, between the
except for Dune, he's pretty cool, but the rest of them
between F Rico, yeah. I was in that. I was that F you. I was the you're cool.
Dune was always the you're cool,
and F you, I'm out. That's right.
The rest, yes. So
do not.
So
change.
And as usual, I'm having some kind of tech problem. The computer's not starting up. I can't get the streams to go. And while I'm in the middle of doing all of this, Zoe sends me a little message. And I have nothing but nice things to say about Zoe. And this was not an annoyance from Zoe, and this was not an annoyance from anyone involved. This was me being special in that special way that I can be.
Yes.
Because this was the week that big-ass earthquake took place in Christchurch, New Zealand. And, of course, my heart goes out and thoughts and prayers and wishes and all that to the people that suffer from that. but I'm still in Oakland getting ready to do my show. Like, that's over there.
That's right. It sucks to be you, but we're going to jam.
I've set my thoughts. I've set my prayers. There's not much more I could do about this except to not be an asshole and not check it as okay on Facebook like some people
that's
would
right.
do.
That's right. There you go. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So there was a broadcaster or a streamer affiliated with Wild Bunch Radio that was located in Christchurch, New Zealand. And so I'm getting ready to do my show, and I got my music I prepped, and I got my lineup, and I'm this, and I'm that. And Zoe goes, hey, so-and-so is available to call in and could do a little update about his experience in the earthquake in Christchurch. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, great, this now on my...
Please don't. Johnny's like, please don't be Brian. Please don't be Brian. And listen, people don't know the Brian we're talking about, so I'm just saying.
So I'm like, so now this is something that is interrupting my show. It's like,
how dare poor Johnny.
So I kind of had this feeling of, oh great, this
stupid
earthquake's
heartless.
interrupting my show.
We sound so
right,
heartless.
but I would never go and be heartless with a comment about this affecting my life on a hot mic intentionally.
Yes,
and I'm there hitting the go button and it's not going, and I can't get it to go and it's not going, and Kristen's over there and I'm making some comment like, oh God, I don't want to interview.
You had a dead dog moment, didn't you? You had a full-on dead dog moment. Remember that? You come out of these upbeat tunes, you know.
Well, no, basically, the go button was not working, and then the last time I clicked it, it worked, but I didn't know it worked because the display was lagged, and so I thought the mic was dead, and I turned to Chris and I make some comment about like, God, I don't want to interview this guy about this earthquake. This is interrupting my show. And that went out. That was my opening statement to the show. And the guy was listening to the stream. Here's it comes on. Here's Johnny Gators bitching about him interrupting my show. And I immediately was like, oh God, that was live. And so then I had to spend
Here's the one I was talking about.
It's not quite the same thing, but I know.
And a situation that we can all understand, whether we have kids or pets or neither.
Let me just speed it up here.
Damn numbers, man. It's impossible to make those transitions, and then you got to go into somebody dying. You know, they do this to me all the time. I don't know what the hell they do it for, but God damn it, if we can't come out of a slow record, I don't understand it. Is Don on the phone? Okay, I want a goddamn concerted effort to come out of a record that isn't a fucking up-tempo record every time.
See, it happens to the best of us, Johnny. It does. Even Casey Kasem.
Well, no, but this was even worse than that because A, this was a mic going out to the audience.
Yes.
And B, I'm basically saying I don't give a shit about this guy that lived through an earthquake. Because at that moment, I didn't give a shit about that. I gave a shit about my show, and I'm like, this is it. And so he heard that, and he messaged it. He's like, "Hey, that's okay. You don't have." And I'm like, "Look it, I am so sorry. That was not meant for air, and that was me trying to figure out how to change my sequence. I absolutely want to talk to you." And so he called in, and we talked about it. But it was probably really awkward, and he probably hung up sooner than he would have because at this point, like, I showed my cards that, like, this is so yeah. That
Johnny was in the zone for tunes.
I felt so bad.
I can imagine
about that. I mean, that was
my.
There's no getting around it. Gators looked like the biggest asshole on the face of the earth that night.
I don't have that show. I don't have that song. Of all the songs I don't have that song. All I have is this one.
And I don't know if I have a recording of that or not. But
that is interesting. I didn't. Yeah, I don't.
That was on the Wild Bunch solo days, I think. Yeah, I mean, I might have been simulcasting, but for a while I would go on the Wild Bunch for an hour and then simulcast. So it could have just been that. But I don't even know if I have a recording of that. In theory, I do.
So if you're wondering, if just sometime go over and move Johnny's car while he doesn't know. Just do that. Just every day, turn his car around. See how he notices. Wouldn't that be great?
Don't do that.
He's out there with the tape measure going, wait a minute.
Okay, Sparky's not touching Johnny's car.
Yeah, there we go.
Sparky's over there like, it's not because I don't want to fuck with him. It's because he wouldn't catch me dead behind the wheel of a Ford.
Sparky will paint your house, but he doesn't want to touch your car.
He doesn't want to touch.
He'll throw a tarp over your car, paint the house, untarp the car. Everything's
Take
fine.
the part off.
That's right.
Speaking of people fucking with gators,
here we go.
Friday night, I'm in the zone playing The Sims. I got a family of vampires. It's great. They don't ever need to go to the bathroom.
Wait, what? You haven't been showing us any of this stuff.
It's boring in real time.
Well, it's not to show the highlights, though.
I'd have to prep highlights.
Oh, okay. Well, how would you?
I don't do editing.
But you were doing that. You were doing that,
and it was the worst streams I ever did.
No, with the ghost dad, it was great. It wasn't quite as good as you running over the gardener at the church.
No,
but it was pretty good.
Few things
pretty good.
Are as good as running over gardeners.
Yeah, running over the gardener in the church was one thing, but it was fun watching ghost dad.
That boost button's right next to the brake button. It's.
Johnny, I know exactly what you're talking about. Remember, you're talking
They put the brake pedal right next to the gas
pedal. You're
talking
to the guy who's hitting the exact same button as boobies as opposed to that. It's the same button. It's the exact same button.
See, that's on you for setting every other button on that thing to boobies.
Well, no, it's just
because boobies is next to every button.
Well, it's just there. It's that button and the other button. Now, if I hit now see if I hit the other button. It's this. It's also hold music.
It's the hold music.
It's that one there. So it can be both.
So anyways, I'm simming Friday night.
Hey, PK, how you doing? Good to see you.
Next thing I know, it's 2 a.m. And I'm like, okay, I guess I better get to sleep because it's 2 a.m. So
I'm playing Sims. It's 2 a.m. I should go to sleep.
So I stop simming. And I start my Gators gets ready for bed routine, So I go over to my bedroom, turn on the fan, turn on the TV, get my phone in the charger, get the CPAP water bin and mask, go downstairs, brush my teeth, use the restroom, put distilled water in the CPAP tank, wipe off the mouthpiece of the CPAP headpiece, go upstairs. And everything looks fine. Not a problem at all in my world. Put together the CPAP machine, get ready for bed, and then I realize, oh dear, I don't know. There's some other reason I need to go back downstairs. I think I forgot to use the restroom when I got the CPAP machine. And I'm like, oh my god, I got to use the restroom before I go to bed because my stomach's a gurgling. So mind you, this is like between 2:30 a.m. So I go down the stairs a second time, and as I go down the stairs, I see in the darkness the flash of white cat roaming around downstairs, looking for a food dish or something. I'm like, oh, okay, you're awake. Got it. So I go around the corner, go to the bathroom, do my thing, check for any available reservations for the Space 220 Lounge in Disney World. No reservations opened up. Shoot some craps. Wrap up. So I go upstairs, go into my room, get ready to snuggle into bed because it's 2:30 a.m. at this point.
Yes.
Fresh puddle of cat piss on my bed. I don't know why that damn cat decided at 2 a.m. I'm mad at you. And I know where you sleep.
Wow. Oh, my gosh.
Hello, motherfucker.
That's why.
So now I have to rip the sheets off the bed.
Oh, no.
Get the cat urine formulated cleaner out from under the sink to spray the foam pad and dab that with paper towels
this
so
is
that it
horrible.
doesn't soak in. And find another set of sheets and remake my bed at 2:30 a.m. because at 2:30 a.m. my cat wanted me to know that she was mad at me but couldn't find a way to vocalize.
Which would be worse, that or that? I don't know. It could be either one.
The animal protection people don't get mad when you take a hammer to a smoke detector. So
listen, I
would never. I would never.
I feel your pain, Johnny, because I too have animals, and I've had to deal.
The point
with.
I'm making out is you can smash a smoke detector.
Yeah,
you can't smash an
a cat.
animal unless you're a monster.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that.
You can't do that.
So now we have to figure out what pisses Johnny's cat off. We don't know. I thought we were going to talk about vampires and Sims. You got us on a whole different subject now.
We've sent her in for multiple tests now. We brought her in for a normal checkup. We brought her in for an echo. We brought her in for blood pressure and blood work. So she's got plenty of reasons. But here's the thing. Kristen's the one that keeps catching her, putting her in the cat carrier, and bringing her into the office. Why is she peeing on my bed? Although, to be fair, she peed on her bed earlier in the week.
Well,
so she's peed on both of our beds.
Have you tried weed? Don't they have like cat THC? Can't you like stone the cat out? Maybe something like that.
Well, she peed in the corner of the bed that I normally give her catnip on. So you'd think that she wouldn't pee there.
Time to close the door, I guess. That sucks.
Well, we each have our own.
But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, we have different rooms, and there's beds in different rooms, and sometimes if schedules don't sync up, we sleep in our own.
I get it.
I think you have a guest room with a bed in it.
No, I know what you're talking about. I get it. I get it.
Mod Prue was asking about.
Mod Prue.
Wait, you guys don't sleep together.
Different. I believe me, Johnny and I are both snorers. But
well, here's the thing. Different people have different soundness levels of sleeping. I sleep like a log no matter what. Kristen sometimes is nervous that something might touch her in her sleep. And if like a big other human is in the bed next with her, that gives her something to be nervous about touching her. So she's far more comfortable in her own bed.
Nervous like this guy is right here.
At some point you spend, I think the routine for years was, I want to sleep comfortably tonight, so I'm just going to crash on the couch. And in the first few years, I took offense to that. And we had to work through hurt feelings and understanding and all that. And then at some point, it's like, hey, we got a whole other room in this house we could just set up another bed in, and then we're all happy.
Listen, Johnny, it's okay. If for anybody who has an issue with it, watch old TV shows. There. Take that. So anyway,
there is that.
So anyway, vampires and Sims.
Are you objecting to anything I'm saying?
No. I want to know about the vampires, though.
Well, the couch was because of insomnia.
That insomnia was not about being touched.
Johnny, you got to look at her and do this because her and I are on the same wavelength. Exactly.
You and Dune are on the same wavelength.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You just said you went to bed at 2 in the morning.
Also, Kristen points out that my whole point of my story was me going to bed at 2 a.m. stupid o'clock in the morning.
Where have you been?
You're married to someone that goes to bed at 2 a.m. stupid o'clock because they're simming with vampires. You might be like,
yeah, you might.
You have fun. I'm going to go get my own room and my own bed over here.
There's bigger issues because it's 2 o'clock with the vampires. Let's talk about that as an issue. That's right. That's exactly what it is. We need pictures though. Of the vampires.
Also agreeing with this. Mod Pro, I mean, she ain't wrong. I like sleeping alone. So there you go. You could be married and sleep alone.
Yes. I don't have it. Could have been the boobies button. It wasn't. It worked out.
So Dune wants to know more about
I want to know about these. I want to know about these vampires and Sims, and are they cool? Because some of these are cool looking. This one's not so cool. These are cool.
Well, I mean, basically the pack comes with outfit and clothing styles and things like that. And basically a vampire sim doesn't have an energy, because most Sims have an energy meter that depletes during the day, and then you have to go to sleep overnight to fill it back up. So if you keep your Sim up too long, they like pass out from exhaustion.
Oh, so you don't want, so your Sim shouldn't be playing Sims at 2 o'clock in the morning is what you're saying, basically.
Well, Well, it depends how late they slept in the day before.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But vampire Sims can play Sims at 2 a.m. because they don't have a sleep bar. They just have a vampire energy bar. That the only thing that depletes the vampire energy bar is going into sunlight. So as long as you keep them indoors all day, they can go for days and days and days without sleep.
Do you have
if
to?
They
okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
But if they get
keep going.
But if they do get exposed to sunlight and it drains part of that meter down, sleep does regenerate that meter. So they don't have to sleep unless you go in sunlight. But you were starting to say.
What I'm worried about is there like weirdness that you have to like chomp on people?
Well, that is another thing, is that vampire Sims lose their hunger meter, but it's replaced with a thirst meter, and that's a thirst for blood. And one of the ways that you can fill that meter is by feeding on people. Now, there are different ways you can play vampire life. You could play life as a bad vampire that just goes around feeding on people willy-nilly, whatever. Or you could be a vampire that tries to live a civil life among civilization, which means that you'd only feed on someone voluntarily with their permission, because you can ask someone permission to feed on them.
Okay, well, this is we're kind of like in the movies here then, because there were both kinds.
Or you can order through your computer. You can order a pack of plasma packs and just suck those down like juice boxes throughout the day to appease. Or you could grow plasma plants. That is a fruit that has a juice that is similar to plasma. And you just eat the plasma.
I'm so I'm gonna.
But you want to get good at the gardening task in order to plant and grow some plasma. So I have a whole greenhouse filled with plasma trees.
There they are. Johnny was not lying. See,
that's a plasma.
See, this is the kind of shit that I double check
it.
you on, because I think you're making it up.
So
plasma.
There
are plasma plants.
So the reason I'm playing a vampire family is now first of all, my original family had Johnny Gators, who married Liberty Lee, and they had several children. And one of their children gave birth to. So this is basically Johnny Gator's granddaughter named Mona, who met a vampire that lives in town, and they got married. And so when I married her to the vampire, I moved her out and I moved her into his house, which is set up all kind of gothic and dark vampire like. And so I decided, you know what? If she's going to marry him, he should turn her to a vampire. So as soon as they came home after the wedding ceremony, I had him turn her into a vampire. And so now, and then they had a kid. And if two vampires have a kid, the kid, when he turns teen, is going to turn into a vampire. So yeah, I have a vampire family. So that's how I ended up starting the vampire family thing going on.
I just would have never thought that was a thing. But there it is. There's the juice. There it is. The juice box.
There's the plasma pack.
There it is, right there.
Comes with a little straw like a Capri Sun.
Like this one here, looking like a little Seymour. Feed me. That's a cow.
That's a cow plant.
Oh, that's not the same thing. It's different.
No, that's different. That's
yeah.
You want to be careful with the cow plants, because the cow plant at some point will grow a tongue that looks like a slice of cake to entice Sims into being eaten by it. I'm not making that up.
Dude, does a 2 a.m. night of Sims start with a, say, 6 p.m. gummy by chance? People are asking. They don't want to say it. I'm thinking it, so I said it.
I suspect the people that create the game are doing the gummies.
Okay, because I just have to wonder.
I'm fine without them myself.
I got this great idea. We're going to have cow plants and vampires. And this appears to be like an add-in package or something is what this is, right?
Yeah. Well, Sims 4 keeps, because that's the thing. In order to keep it interesting, you add on features, and when you add on new features, you charge another $50 to keep the money raking in.
There we go. Now it's a profit deal. That's what it is.
Yes.
That's what it is.
So there are several. Sims 4 has had a stupid amount. At this point, Sims 4 I think has been the longest living Sims.
This guy's a little. There's a bunch of green people.
Well, you can have plant people too.
Plantisms.
I haven't played with that yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I have not played with the plant people. That'll be my next family. Maybe one of Mona's kids will be a plant. Will marry a plant person.
You have to wonder: is any of this shit
right now?
happening? Is this
right now?
is
Mona's
this
raising
real?
little baby Erica. I have a feeling she's going to be a holy terror, but maybe she'll marry a plant person. Maybe we can name him Jackson or Travis. I haven't decided
Plasma
which
fruit
one yet.
locations. It says. That's right. Of course.
And this is brought to you by Peacock.
That's right. Brought to you by Kung Fu Panda 12, obviously, which is, I think, what that is. This is a how-to. Okay, so here we go. How to get plasma fruit trees.
Okay.
I didn't realize they have these things. I could have been learning this all this time.
Oh, there's tons of YouTube content for this stuff.
Of course, whoever
So I don't know
recorded this. Yeah, I don't know. Let me speed up here.
They're not narrating is
Yeah.
what they're not doing.
It's a horrible.
So I'm not sure what they're showing us.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
They got some bandwidth issues.
They got
with the
bandwidth
sharing.
issues. How to stop being a vampire.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ultimate Sims Guides. My name is Taylor. For those of you that don't
Well, there's
know,
a mixed drink you can learn to make that cures one.
Taylor's got
vampirism.
80,000 subscribers, so I think
in
Taylor
today's video,
has
we
her
are gonna be
stuff
talking
together.
About how you can stop being a vampire in The Sims 4, and I also posted a video of how to become a vampire in The Sims 4 as well. So if either of these videos interest
So
you,
she's
be sure to give
she's
it a
giving
thumbs
you the
up,
full
watch it
gambit.
out, enjoy yourself.
Right. Well,
Hey, wait a minute! Did you see that? Did you see that look?
Interest you?
Yeah.
Give
Look at
them a
that.
thumbs up, give them a watch, you know,
Yeah, vampires do that from time to time.
Oh, they just vamp out for no reason.
Yeah.
So if either of you are interested, be sure to give them a
That's
thumbs up,
awesome.
Give them a watch, you know, enjoy yourself.
They do.
So our sim here, Melina, was the victim in our How to Become a Vampire episode. So we are going to turn her back into a regular sim because she was never destined for that vampire life. So as you can see, she has 4 vampire power points. She's got all of the vampire-ness that she needs. She doesn't.
She's
want
randomly just pounding
so
on
what you
that
need
keyboard
to do to
too.
stop being a vampire in The Sims 4 is you need to make the ultimate vampire cure drink on any bar in the
I suppose you
Sims.
don't let your Sims wear shoes either.
Outside. However, we won't actually know about.
I don't know.
the
They
yet.
choose that.
So we won't have.
I guess it comes to the
an
outfits.
vampire
I usually
cure
don't focus much
That's-
on the clothing
That's
aspect.
interesting that there's actually a how to unvamp your vamp.
Yeah, it's real. Basically, there's a mixed drink that does that, and you have to get certain levels of knowledge to your sim and ingredients.
And then you have to go out and
that
bury
they can-
something in the ground.
Right. You gotta grow your plasma fruits, but you also have to have garlic, and you have to have this other type of plant, and then you have to have a certain vampire knowledge level to know how to make the mixed drink, and then you have to have a certain bartender level to be able to make mixed drinks. So yeah, it's different skills that you have to teach your sim through, spending time reading books or knowledge, or and then buying seeds and then working in the.
I look at it this way, Johnny. You
Work in
could
the
you
land.
could you could be like out doing bad things at a club, but no,
But no, I have my Sims doing bad things for me.
This is mostly harmless.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that. I'm going to go on a limb and say this is mostly harmless, so you're okay. So we got
it is
a death flower, plasma fruit, hollow sims. So don't know what that is. Fruit sims. Get the plasma tree.
Death flowers are useful because with a death flower and an angelfish, you can make ambrosia and feed it to a ghost, which will bring them back to life.
Now these things. If you have vampires, now is the sim a multiplayer thing? I mean, like if I was hanging out with my normal family, and all I had was 3 or 4 of those, would I have to trade that in for a piece of wood that I whittled down? Is that the way that works?
I've not seen staking vampires as an option, but then again, there are many ways Sims can die. Murder's not one of them.
But if I'm hanging out, chilling in my own little world, do I have to worry about a vampire coming over and vamping out on me?
Well, yes, but that's why you have the YouTube video on how
Hey,
to turn a
Cylon
vampire
Cyberman,
into a
how you
non-vampire.
doing? Talking about vampire sims because Johnny does that at 2:00 in the morning. That's what he does. If you're wondering.
I mean, it's
2:00.
Sims
You know
isn't-
where your children are. Yes, they're playing
Sims
Sims.
isn't exactly multiplayer in the multiple people playing in the same environment.
It isn't.
isn't.
I didn't know. So
But-
it's not GTA style then.
It's not. No, it's not like that.
Okay. Well, that's what I was curious about. I wasn't sure.
it's a single person operating a universe, but you can share things among people. Like you could build a house and then load it up to a server, or someone likes that house, they can load that into their.
Okay,
world
but it's
and
not
use that
like
house.
you're not like going next door and borrowing sugar. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about, right?
If you're up at 2 stupid a.m. playing Sims 4, you're not going to see a Johnny Gators vampire come into your world and start chasing you around to try and turn you into a vampire.
That would be so cool. Well, it wouldn't be.
That would not.
That would suck. That would make
That would
me
only
not,
happen if you made it happen.
That would make me
you
not
would have
sleep
to make
well. It's what that would do. I don't need that. I don't need that.
No, but here's a weird thing I've discovered in The Sims, and that is that you can't steal anything from someone else's property except for human corpses.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the look I was going for there. And here's...
I can only hope that when that happens, that the FBI is informed. That's all I can say.
There is no Sims FBI.
Well, no, I'm talking in real life, Johnny. I'm thinking if you're spending if you're spending all your time on The Sims stealing dead bodies, I want the authorities to know about it.
Because I was playing as Mona, and I wanted Mona to be able to grow some death flower bushes in her greenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And it's difficult to make a death flower from scratch because you got to splice different plants together and grow them up and learn gardening, and then splice this with that and that with that, and then eventually you get a death flower bush. But I knew that Johnny Gators had grown many death flowers over his years and had plenty of death flowers on his person. So I'm like, what if I can get Johnny Gators to just give Mona Gators a death flower, and then she could plant it into a death flower bush? That'd be easier than having to do that all over again.
Absolutely.
Well, so I invite Mona over to Johnny Gators' house, and as Johnny Gators, I try to give Mona a gift, but there was no option in my menu to give her a gift. The gift-giving menu option disappeared. I don't know if it's because it only shows up around the holidays, and I have to wait until it's like, Winterfest Day.
Maybe it's because it's a death flower. Maybe that's why.
Well, it wouldn't let me gift anything.
Oh, okay.
But
I see.
So then I'm like, well, what if I leave a death flower lying around in the house, and then I go visit the house as Mona, and while I'm in the house, I just grab the death flower and pocket it when no one's looking? I mean, heck, I'm his granddaughter. Does he mind if I steal a flower from his house?
Surely not.
It would not let me. It would not let me as Mona pick up that flower. It was like, no, you can't interact with this object. You don't own things in this house. It will not let me pick up things when I'm visiting someone else's house. So no, stealing is out with The Sims unless you go to a store and you're a kleptomaniac.
So much like
but that's a whole other
firearms,
thing.
they're very proficient in locking up their shit that's dangerous. I like that. I think that's good.
It's yeah. So what I had to do is I had to invite Johnny Gators over to Mona's house, and then change to play as Johnny Gators visiting Mona's house, and then leave the death flower out in her house. And even then, it still wouldn't let me pick it up. But I was able to, in build mode, drag the death flower onto a mound of dirt, and then tell Mona, plant that sucker over there where I left it. And now I have a death flower bush in my greenhouse.
And that does what? What does that do?
Well, death flowers you can use to bribe the Grim Reaper if he comes to collect your soul, and he'll let you live an extra day.
Oh, just a day?
Or
that's it?
Well, here's the more important thing. If you go fishing and you catch an angelfish and you have a death flower and you have a potion of youth, you could use that in a recipe to cook ambrosia. And ambrosia is a dish that when a ghost eats it, it brings them back to life. So basically, a death flower is part of a recipe that allows you to bring dead Sims back to life.
Can you say that? Can you say that one more time?
A death flower is a
the ambrosia thing.
Recipe. So a death flower plus an angelfish plus a potion of youth can be used to make ambrosia, which is something that if a ghost eats it, brings them back to life.
Got it.
Okay.
That's what it does. Now I want to play The Sims. That's exactly it.
So
if I can plant something and have that happen, that's awesome.
So I'm playing as Mona, and every time a family member dies off screen, because when you play The Sims 3 worked in a way that when you played one house, time stood still in all the other houses. The Sims 4 makes time move simultaneously for everything. So if you have multiple families and generations that are split off, those people keep doing things in the background. So So while I'm playing Mona,
do they do shit that you wouldn't expect them to do? Just out of curiosity.
Yes,
Okay.
like have kids, get new jobs, have kids.
Wait a minute, we're just
get married, have kids. Sometimes I go back to Johnny Gator's house. He's got a new grandson. Where did this kid come from?
Yeah, what the hell?
And who's the daddy? Ain't no.
Wait a minute.
Because Johnny Gator's daughter that still lives there, she's divorced, and her ex-husband is dead. So I don't know who she's fucking to have another kid, but she's fucking someone.
Is there like can you do like a rewind and find out? I mean,
I can pull up a family tree and find out. I just haven't gotten around to it. But
see, you've been keeping this from us all this time. Sparky, am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. All this time.
Well, maybe we got a topic for tomorrow's show.
All this time,
bring up a window.
We had no idea that you had this much incest going on at your or whatever you want to call it.
Pro rates and you're wrong.
There we go.
So,
oh God, it sounds like so much work, but it sounds fun.
So I'm playing as Mona. And all of a sudden, I get first of all, I get a text that the family cat back at Johnny Gator's house died. And then I get a text that Johnny Gator's died. So I know that means now
you got to break out the death plan, right?
Right. Well, so when a character in The Sims dies, they either turn into a tombstone or an urn. It depends if they're indoors or outdoors. If they're indoors, it's an urn. If it's outdoors, it's a tombstone. And if you move a tombstone from outdoor to indoor, it turns into an urn. And if you move an urn from indoors to outdoors, it turns into a tombstone.
Okay, do we find out how come he died though? Do we find this out?
Old age.
Okay.
I kept reviving him. He kept dying again because when you revive someone, they're just still an old man and they only have so many days they can live before they die again. Johnny Gators has died 3 times now in The Sims, which means he has 3 tombstones. So every time he dies, he gets a new tombstone.
So what's the time? What's the time we looking at? Like, what's the dog years for Sims? I guess that's the term.
It depends on the calendar because you could set a year to be. You could set a year. You could set a week to be. You could set a season to be 7 days, so a year could be 4 weeks.
Okay.
Or you could set a season to be 14 days, or you could set a season to be 21 days. And that's if you have the seasons add on. So really, you can adjust how long years are to your settings. So, Silent remembering when you wanted to do something and then they don't. Yes.
Well, can you just like reincarnate Johnny Gators though? Because is that a thing?
Well, that's where the death flowers and angelfish and potion of youths come in.
Angelfish.
So, but the problem is I am playing as Mona in Mona and her husband's house. I think his name's Caleb, and Johnny Gator's urn or tombstone is over in Johnny Gator's house. So I'm like, well, if I want Johnny Gators to come back as a ghost, I want to bring him back to life. I need to bring him over to Mona's house. So I had Mona visit Johnny Gator's house, says hi to her family members, goes in the backyard. Sure enough,
steals the. Okay.
I took the tombstone right out of the backyard, put it into an inventory, went home. So it won't let me pick up a flower on their property. But if I want to go out in the backyard and dig up my corpse, by all means, go ahead, take Johnny Gator's.
So you totally yoinked the tombstone and then yeeted it into your own yard. There, I'm using cool.
So then I went around to all the houses of dead relatives, and I've yoinked all their tombstones, and I'm storing them in the attic.
Okay.
So
as urns now, right? Because I'm
as urns.
Okay,
yes. So I got an
gotcha.
attic full of urns,
That's
and
right.
in The Sims, tombstones and urns, if you don't release their spirits in the netherworld, the spirit will come back to life. Will come back as a ghost periodically, who you could have conversations with. So now Mona keeps getting visits from dead relatives periodically throughout the day.
Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you. Which means that I can make ambrosia and feed it to them and bring them back to life if I want to. But I have to get them to join the house.
Or just play good music. Either one.
Or that too.
Either one works. I like that.
So yeah, that's what keeps me up to 2 a.m., which pisses off my cat, and then I have to change the sheets. So
Cat was like, all I wanted to do was go to sleep. That's all I wanted.
No, she wanted food.
Oh, well, that too. Okay.
All I want is food and not be put in a bag and brought to places where people poke me with needles and wrap things around my paw.
It sounds like Cylon Cyberman also is a Sims person or has played Sims because And then the rabbits was the best different color. There you go. See, it's the rabbits,
now,
George.
Silence referenced the frustration, and you tell them to do something and they don't. And I got to tell you, when it comes to raising kids in The Sims, the parents are absolutely awful at following directions. I can't tell you how many times I tell the mother, put the kid in the high chair and feed them some strained peas. And she gets them in the high chair, and then she
sticks a cigarette.
Stops.
No.
And then she stops and doesn't start feeding them peas. And I find out the reason why she doesn't feed the kid the peas is because the father decided, hey, what's that kid doing in the high chair? Let me let the kid down onto the floor. And it's like, why are you interrupting? I told her to give him peas, and now you're just letting him loose on the floor. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Do you have these outbursts for real? I mean, I have to think you do.
In my mind.
I think you do.
It's like,
you have to start screaming out loud.
Because I told them to do this, and this sim decides. It's like, it's especially frustrating if you spend 5 times. Put him in the high chair. Put him in the high chair. Put him in the high chair. And then as soon as she puts him in the high chair,
are you typing this?
It takes him
put
out
in high
of
chair,
the high
put
chair.
in high chair. Is that how this works?
It's mouse commands. You click on the menu option, put in the high chair, put in the high chair, put him in the high chair, and then just as she gets him in the high chair, he comes, takes him out of the high chair. It's like, you idiot! I just put and the baby's energy meter's going down. So now the baby's hungry and tired. So now the baby's grumpy for 2 fucking reasons.
Can you send Dad out to the garage or something? Can you say, get the hell out of here? Or you can't control him. Is that the way it works?
I can control him, but the thing is I'm not. But I'm trying to control one person, and I want well. The other thing is I might have told him to do some reading, and then he decided he was bored of reading, so he came over to let the fucking kid out of the high chair while I'm trying to feed the damn thing.
If you're wondering, should Johnny have kids? The answer is no. There we go.
Thank you. Yeah.
He would leave him in. At least you would leave the kid in the high chair. That's right. You know enough to do that. What'd you learn from The Sims? Leave the kid in the high chair.
Leave the kid in the high chair until feeding is over.
That's
Don't
right.
take the kid out of the high chair when the kid was just put in the high chair and the feeding hasn't started yet.
Especially if it's
Sims lack common sense.
What kind of beans? Would you say string beans? What was it you said?
Peas.
Oh, they were split peas.
There's different food options that you can feed them in the high chair, and then you find out if they like it or not, and if they're a messy eater or not. And you can try to feed them like.
So you just don't start off with
oatmeal,
spaghetti, is what you're saying?
No. Well, you start out with bottle feed or breastfeed, and then at some point you can start like applesauce or yogurt or mushy peas.
Wait, did you
carrots.
say peas? Is that what you said?
They blur that out.
Okay. Well, I thought
The Sims blurs whenever someone uses a toilet or a shower or a breast. But, yeah.
But they do the horizontal mambo. Just
under the covers. Or in a fogged up shower or in a closet.
Okay.
Or in a rocket ship.
Oh, right. Okay. Because that's a thing.
Yes, that is a thing. You can buy a rocket ship. Build it. It's a do-it-yourself kit that you build in your backyard or on your roof, and then you could go explore space or have sex in it.
Hey, baby, I have a rocket ship. Come hang out with me, and that works in The Sims.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you really had a rocket ship, you could probably pull that off. I'm thinking you could probably get some strange with a rocket ship.
Yeah. There are some people that would love to.
I'm thinking,
I'm
thinking so.
People look for all different types of scenarios to have sex in. Rocket ship's one of them.
Somewhere, I'm not going to search, but I bet if you look for rocket ship porn, there's probably something out there. Just saying.
I may or may not have rocket ship.
See, there we go. Like I said, I wasn't going to say it, but now it's been said. There you go.
I don't remember the details, but I think it was something that Vamp referenced.
That's a whole different song. You got to do the How Much I Feel song for that one. Whole different thing. That's right.
I seem to recall that it was at some point in time that Vamp referenced some sort of zero gravity spaceship sex porn that existed. And much like you do at times, I Googled that to see if that was real. And one download later, I found out yes. And there were 3 parts to the movie. Wait. It was a trilogy.
Zero gravity. What?
Spaceship sex porn.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, I just want to make sure I had that right.
I'm looking through my torrent folder right now to see. Oh, there it is. It was called the Uranus Experiment.
Is there a difference between zero gravity and low gravity?
Probably.
Okay.
But okay, that is sex happening. Well, this isn't in space yet, though.
Am I
here we go. Now they're
Am I
astronauts.
sharing my screen? Okay. I'm doing it. I'm going in, Johnny. I'm going in.
You're looking up the Uranus Experiment.
No. I'm going to look up the other way. Zero. I'm going to look up low gravity.
I don't know. I don't know why Vamp knew about this movie or what context I heard him reference it, but maybe I'm imagining this, but I'm pretty sure it was Vamp that mentioned this that resulted in my downloading it. Google the Uranus Experiment.
Well, you know what? I'm actually. It appears I'm actually safe here. So I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna show it. So this is what I got. Is this like?
That could be it.
Is this the people that are involved?
I don't recall. I wasn't looking at.
And then
faces,
there's somebody floating above the covers here.
Well, do the captions say what movie this is?
I should be careful while I'm. Yeah.
You might want to stop screen sharing.
Yeah, I want to. Hey, I don't want to have that happen. So. I do appreciate that on the same page of low gravity spaceship porn, there is a picture of Spock. There we go. Just wanted you to know that that Spock is right there. So there you go. But everything else is kind of blurred out, so I could probably click on one of these little blurry things.
Oh, apparently it's in the second part, because I found a Wikipedia article about the Uranus Experiment. The Uranus Experiment is a 1999 three-part pornographic science fiction video.
Oh, whoa, hey. Okay.
In a scene from the second part, the performers Sylvia Saint and Nick Lang have sex in zero gravity for about 20 seconds. The scene was shot during a parabolic flight. So they actually got into the vomit rocket and did a parabolic flight where they had the 20 seconds of zero gravity to shoot a sex scene in zero gravity. The filming process for the microgravity scene was particularly difficult from a technical and logistical standpoint. Budget constraints allowed for only one take for the microgravity shot. The other zero gravity shots in the film are faked. Described as an anal space opera, the film features music by Liam Howlett from The Prodigy and Robert Del Naja from Massive Attack. Its director, John Millerman, was nominated in the Best Script category in the 1999 Nebula Awards by a disgruntled group of science fiction authors as a protest against the policies of the awarding body. It did not win the award, which was won by M. Night Shyamalan for his script.
Johnny, I'd like you to know that
Sense.
This whole conversation has come completely full circle. Because I forgot about the movie called Life Force that is about naked space vampires. There you go. You go.
That just happened.
That just happened. And that's a real movie. I've seen this movie. Life Force is the name of it.
So apparently it's a second movie that has the actual zero. Oh,
so there you go.
I think
There's no zero gravity happening, but there are naked space vampires involved. So there you go. So just in case you're wondering, okay, now we're safe.
Why would you put a finger in there?
Whoa. Now we're back to blood pressure cuffs for cats. So we're safe.
We're safe now.
We're safe now. Safe search is back on. There we go.
Be funny describing the show to coworkers. Well, there's a lot of parts of the show I can't tell you about. Well, what can you tell me about? Well, we talk about taking blood pressure measurements of cats.
Yes.
That's the part of the show I can tell you about.
That's all I can tell you about the cat. We can tell you about cats, dogs, and elephants, but don't ask us about the space vampires. Just we can't go down that road. That's exactly what that is. The space vampires. That's so awesome. The next thing to worry about. As if we didn't have to worry about other things. Now we got to worry about space vampires. There we go.
Space vampires.
That's right. Space. It's one of those things.
Space. It's big.
It's really big. Where'd that go from? I forgot.
It's pretty big.
It's pretty big.
So big you can't even imagine how big it is.
That's right. Space is part of space. It's like
space keeps going until it doesn't, and then it keeps going.
That's right. And then there's more. And then when you look and think there's none, there's more. There we go. See, we could totally write a thesis on this.
We could write a thesis.
Who's going to prove us? How do you prove that wrong? It's a theory. Can't prove a theory wrong, can you? It's just a theory. It's just a work. And if it's a working theory is what you call it.
Speaking of weird science theories.
Yeah.
To totally shift tones here, I wanted to get your opinion on a controversial topic here. Because, mind you, So let's talk about our speaking of people that are interested in space. Let's talk about our favorite rocket scientist by the name of Elon.
Oh God.
So first he tells all the advertisers bluntly to fuck off. And then he sues them for fucking off. Yeah.
No, he didn't sue any advertisers.
He's like suing for an illegal boycott. It's like, didn't you tell them to fuck off?
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Well, would you clarify then?
No, I thought the thing had to do with the government telling them what to do. That's what it had to do with. It wasn't.
No, he's suing. He's suing the advertisers over a boycott.
I don't know what you speak. I think you're just.
Yeah,
making,
he
I think
sued a nonprofit advertising.
I think you're just making news up now.
I'm reading this on CNN right now.
Okay, what? Thank you for being just confirming what I just said. Sparky is rolling on the ground right now, and has probably had Sparky. Come back to the.
There
Sparky.
are lots of things online that report news, and different things have different biases. But news is fucking news. If you can't, they ain't in the business of fiction. They're reporting news. Okay, all right, Einstein. What article would you like me to read? It was the first thing that came up my search right now to try to get something that would explain it.
Sorry.
All right, so you don't approve of CNN. Oh, let's see. What about AP News? Is AP News all right? Business Insider, New York Times, Ars Technica. What news will you let me read?
It's probably all the same story anyway. So.
Well, that was why I clicked on CNN.
No, I don't.
Because it's pretty much the same story.
I don't know. I
BBC, Wired,
oh God,
Business Insider, The Verge.
Oh wait. Oh, that's over there. Never mind. Okay.
All right. Let's see if Fox News has an article.
Elon sues who? Sues Disney Media Matters. Which one?
No, it was an antitrust lawsuit against Garm Ad Group. I would read it on Fox Business News, but they're not letting me read it because I'm blocking ads on their site. Look. Let's see. Elon Musk's social media platform X has sued a group of advertising, alleging that a massive advertiser boycott deprived the company of billions of dollars in revenue and violated antitrust laws. The company, formerly known as Twitter, filed the lawsuit Tuesday in a federal court in Texas against the World Federation of Advertisers and member companies, Unilever, Mars, CVS Health, and Orsted. So again, he told them to fuck off. And then when they fucked off, he calls it a massive boycott that's illegal. Dude, you told them to fuck off.
I just think it's awesome that this guy just lives rent free in your head. I wish you know what would only make things better for me.
Dune,
you know how I could know things come full circle, Johnny. Seriously.
Okay.
I'm telling you, Elon, if you're out there, please, you have to do this. Don't buy Facebook. don't buy Disney.
Let me tell you, I barely use Twitter /X /whatever or Facebook anymore. I mean, they're just free services that I'll use to their usefulness. And Twitter is less useful today than it used to be because there's less people participating on it.
Well, then you shouldn't be on there. You should just.
I want.
You should just. No. Anyway, let me finish my thing.
I just won't give them money.
Let me just don't buy Disney. Don't buy Facebook.
Here's the thing. That whole
Elon
that whole
don't listen to Johnny. Listen to me. When I say,
let me address your comment.
Please buy Oak Island. Please buy Oak Island. Please buy Oak Island. That. If I could live forever, I want to see you buy Oak Island, and then find the gold. Thank you.
I would buy Elon Oak Island if I had the money to do it. Be like, here
That
you
would
go. Occupy your time with this.
It would
There's
be
gold in there. Go find it.
It would be
really.
It would
There's
be
gold
the
in there.
best
Go get
transition
it.
in the world for you if he bought Oak Island, because you would just shit your pants. You would totally.
Well, let me tell you.
First of all, it would piss you and Brian off, which makes me happy. I like that. So
here's the thing. I'm not going to say he doesn't piss me off, but he doesn't piss me off in a way that affects my life. I have opinions about lots of things. I have opinions about anything I think about.
As long as he doesn't interrupt your show.
Anything that enters my field of vision or my news feed or my world in some way, I'm going to read about it. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to have an opinion about it. I'm going to go on to the next thing. So just because every now and then I talk about Elon doesn't mean, oh my God, dude's living rent free in your head. I have a spot in my head that is going to be vacated at the end of this show for some other, because I got to go back to thinking about vampires in The Sims. So no, this ain't no rent-free bullshit.
It is, absolutely,
but
that's okay.
I find it amusing that when I bring up the topic of Elon, typically you're in a defensive position against him, and I'm in a position of dude's an idiot. Just look at the things he says.
But that's the whole thing is, you say he's an idiot, but he's obviously a genius. That's the whole thing. You get mad because he.
I don't think he is.
He let the cat out of the bag, and it pissed you off. I mean, basically, that's exactly what all it was. He told
bought an expensive website and lost money on the deal.
And how
does that make him a genius?
He told the truth. He said, "Look what's been happening all these years. Look at the manipulation that's been going on, and you didn't like it. That's exactly what it was. You want things back the way it used to be."
Well, he's also a hypocrite because he goes, "Look at all the manipulation they're doing. I'm going to come here and do my own."
No, he's saying
Dude's a fucking hypocrite.
No, he's saying it should be a level playing field, and you're the one that always fights for that, unless it's not who you want to win. That's the difference.
I think you and I have different definitions of this because I don't think there's anything on level about it.
Shut up and look at the butts. Just shut up.
Well, those are butts.
And look at the butts, because this is the only thing that you seem to like are gang signs behind cute girls in sand. So there.
And Vampire Sims.
And Vampire Sims. There. This is
running over
I could have played
No, but here's the thing.
I could have went here, but this is like double cool. I got Boz and butts all at the same time. There.
All I'm saying is I find it ironic that in one breath he tells the advertisers to fuck off, and the next breath he sues them when they fuck off. There's some irony there. Like
you just don't get it. You don't get it.
You made it.
Did you read?
What
did you
do I
read?
not get about
read this. Read what the suit says, not what they tell you it means. That's what I'm. That's all I'm gonna challenge you to do. It has to do with manipulation, Johnny. That's it. Just read it.
Well,
and don't say, well, it says this, but it means that. Don't be that person. That's all I'm going to tell you. I'm
not understanding what he's suing them for not advertising with him. Where does it say that anyone has to advertise?
I don't think that's what the suit is. I will guarantee you that is not what the suit says. It does not say
he's
I'm suing
for
you.
an illegal boycott. Basically, it's like you don't advertise with me, I'm suing you. That's what it boils down to.
No, Johnny, he's suing because other people are pressuring them to do what they say. That's the whole point.
Well, that's the whole point of advertising. Is people don't want to advertise with entities that are going to reflect negatively on them.
No, Johnny.
Pressure exists in this universe. We don't live in a vacuum.
You're missing the point.
Am I?
Yes, you're missing the point. That
I think someone's missing some points, and maybe we're both missing.
No. I'm just saying you should read. You should read it. You really should. You should read what it says. It has to do. I could put this into perspective, but I'm not going to, because otherwise I'll have to.
Feel free to. I am listening.
I would have to. No, you don't want to listen. Listen. There are certain things that Johnny, you and I you're never going to change on. It's just not going to happen.
Change my mind.
There would have to be something. See, that's funny. That's funny. Because you probably think that guy. Yeah. You probably think that guy's the biggest ziffle in the world, which I think is hilarious.
Well, I think it's hilarious that he pretends like his mind can be changed.
Well, that's just it. I think what he does, he just points out to people the stupidity they say. It's like, do you really realize what you're saying? They go like, oh, God, you're right. It's no different than when they say...
I've never seen anyone walk away from him going, oh, God, you're right.
Well, they ended up looking like idiots. That's the whole point. No, we're not talking about politics because I won't let Johnny do it. Believe me, we'll get plenty of that when I
change my mind, dude.
We'll get plenty of that after the election when I block Johnny anyway. So it won't matter. I already told Sparky. I said you and I probably won't survive this election. There's a chance.
Really?
There's a chance.
What scenario do you see us not surviving this election? Going one way or going the other way?
I don't know.
Dude,
just saying.
Why? What makes you?
Mod Pro will Biden win? No, Biden absolutely won't win.
Well, that one I think we agree on.
Right. Wait, this is going to take a while to undo. Okay, that was a lot of buttons. That was a lot of buttons.
What on earth makes you think that our friendship wouldn't survive this election?
That was a lot of buttons. I think because I'm getting old, I'm not as understanding as I used to be, and I don't like it. But it is what it is.
So you don't think you can handle being friends with me?
I don't. No, I don't know. Yes, now you're putting words in my mouth.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to figure out what you're saying there because I don't see any reason why our friendship shouldn't be able to survive.
Did you say
election.
Kennedy? What? That poor guy. He's got a great sense of humor, though. That dude, the Kennedy guy, he does. He killed a bear and then dropped it in the frickin' in a park. That's funny shit.
That is funny shit.
And then he owned it. That's the best part. He owned it.
And he just talks about it like, we thought it was funny. We just dropped it in the park there,
I realized we had 11 viewers. We're down to 6, so that should tell you something right there. That should be Sparky's already ran away. He's like, oh hell no. Somewhere Mars is drinking coffee. Ugh.
Coffee is pretty good though, but No, dude, I really don't care who you vote for or what your positions are. I mean, you're a cool guy, and we're cool guys, and why should we be angry at each other?
No, they got the memo. No, X is back. Here we go. X. This is what happens. They said he had Clinton relations with that dead bear. Oh, come on. I don't know what that means. The bear's dead.
I don't know what that means either, but I don't like it.
Clinton relation to me is the bear died. That's it. By mysterious circumstances. There, how about that? Oh, I can only dream about talking about Senator Kennedy. No, I think it's funny. Because he does have some weird. Because I mean, he has some interesting stories, and they're not the dead bear one is just one. There was one about a dog, and then I forget what the other one was.
He's another one of those politicians that he kind of changes his views depending on what platform he's interviewing for.
Well, I think a lot of it too. Unfortunately, it sucks that he has the speech issue he has. That's really what that's really what knocks him to where nobody wants to listen to him. It's too hard to listen to him talk, and I'm not being mean. It's the truth.
But even without that, it's the only thing he can do is change an outcome by steering votes away from other candidates.
Well, the thing is, what I liked about
he can't win anything.
No, what I liked about him though is he's kind of old school the way your peoples were before they became your peoples now. That's the difference.
Could you elaborate on that?
No, I'm just saying he's old. He's old.
I'm
school.
curious what you mean.
He's
by
old
that,
school. Put it this way, Johnny. If I was to bring up all of the talking points of John F. Kennedy, that assassinated John F. Kennedy, of what he wanted to do and what he did, you would be just mortified. Because he wanted to do stupid things like lower taxes on, it's just crazy talk. That's what I'm talking about. But
he's probably also talking about lower taxes in an era where they were way higher than they were now.
No, I'm just saying a lot of the stuff that he said then would be construed as completely crazy right-wing banter now. That's what I'm saying. That's how much has changed.
There's a lot of things that Reagan said that is construed as too moderate now, too. I mean, it is interesting how.
Tell me one thing.
Shift.
Give me one thing. Don't you touch the mouse.
I'm not prepared.
You want to talk Reagan?
Right
you
now.
are talking to the wrong cat because I will smoke you like a turkey in oil, my friend.
I wasn't trying to put him down.
You forgot.
I'm just saying,
you forgot that I have him on my front page of.
No, I was not putting down Reagan, but I'm saying there are people that would consider him too moderate if he was around today with the same platform. I'm not ready to talk to specifics on that, so you can file that under bullshit if you want to.
I had to bring up more ambrosia.
But it just like many candidates of the past would play different today than they did in their time.
Absolutely,
is my point there.
Absolutely. Believe me, when you say I think of Reagan, I just laugh because I think of all the cool stuff he always did. I mean, anybody on a hot mic that says they're going to start bombing in 10 minutes. I mean, the guy he almost
caused a nuclear Armageddon. But it was pretty funny.
They pop a balloon and he says, "Ha, you missed me." I mean, come on, that's some funny shit. I mean, that's the kind of things people forget. That kind of cool stuff. See, I was old enough to remember all that because Johnny was still hanging out with his.
Well, I just remember one night we were going to go watch The Wizard of Oz on TV, and they postponed it because he was talking about something. So that's I've always held that against him.
It's back in the big three. There we go.
Back in the
X64. No, we weren't talking that much because Johnny and I are still talking. That's how you can tell. It didn't turn into. It didn't turn into FF and the Fs. I mean,
every now and then we like to dance around the topics of politics.
We've had some good conversations. We talked about DoorDash. We talked about mom and pops stores.
Pissed off doing a little bit talking Elon, and then we did this dance.
Yeah, leave my Elon alone. Next week. I'm gonna wear my. Well, you won't be here, you son of. I found my let that sink in shirt while I was cleaning. that I haven't worn in a long time. It's a blue. It's a horrible color shirt, though, is why I don't like it. I'm kind of a black shirt guy. Obviously. Wait.
Well,
what am I
black
pointing
shirts
at?
in the summer is totally illogical.
You're right. I've lost weight, though, so the black shirt was to make me appear thinner. So now that I'm actually a little bit thinner, I can.
I'm 100% functionality.
I can pull off.
To be the functionality and comfort is
I
the
can
most
break out the
important
bean
part of
shirt just
clothing.
like you, Johnny. I've got that.
You've got the cheap knockoff.
I've
bean
got
shirt.
the. You say knockoff, I say bean shirt. I don't know why you have to make fun of my shirt. Is it real? It's a real shirt. Does it have Mr. Bean on it? It has Mr. Bean on it. That's as real as it's going to get. So,
and you can wear it on the 5-Hit show next weekend while I'm chilling down the shore
with your
with a beer in one hand and
I
Yahtzee
just
dice in the
hope
other.
someday I can go to the shore with you so there can be a picture of me sitting next to you wearing tennis shoes. That's all I want. That's all I want. That's what I want.
My
is
mind
you
just
and I
went-
on the beach with me wearing tennis shoes. That's all. That's all I want.
That's if you and me are on the beach and there's tennis shoes on the beach, they ain't on my feet.
They're on mine. Trust me. That's exactly what it is.
The only thing on my feet are flip flops, and they're coming off as soon as I get to my chair. So you're gonna have to get used to seeing my feet.
What the hell is that? Those better not be feet in the shape of a W. I don't know. I can't tell what they are.
I don't know, but no, that'd be. It's funny. You talk about coming to the beach, and I'm like, oh my, would you have a good time hanging out with us on the porch, surrounded by liberals? But
I don't know what that is. Oh, Johnny, I would love to do that. I would piss off everybody in your family, except your dad. Me and your dad would be getting along fine. I'm sure.
Except my dad and my sister.
Yeah, I'll say your dad would be fine with me. I'm sure.
But I think you'd be kicked out of the porch pretty quickly. No, you'd be fine because we'd all just drink a beer and not talk politics. It'd be that simple.
I would just pull up on the porch and start off the word, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool.
Dude, all you have to do is come on the porch, grab a beer. I'll warn you which ones not to drink because we have a lot of not that type of beer.
Yeah, which one of these?
Not this one.
Stop it, OX. Damn it.
My
I bet he went out. I bet he went out and subbed that just so he could piss me off.
My cousins are all fans of the IPAs, so we got a lot of IPAs in our cooler.
Ooh,
but
you do have a jacked up family. Oh man. Anyway, here I'm gonna play this, and we'll talk about.
You ever played a card game called Asshole?
We're doing it right now. Anyway, let's talk about. We got to talk about tomorrow. What is happening tomorrow?
What is happening tomorrow? Well, I guess tomorrow I could talk, show off my Sims a bit if people care to, but it sounds like Mod Pro doesn't want me to. But I got my Raspberry Pi LCD screen and case that holds the screen and the Pi. And so I'm tinkering with that a bit. So maybe I'll talk a little bit about that. Maybe that'll get boring really quick. I don't know. And also, maybe Brian will be around or not.
Well, that'll work. I want to see the Sims Vampires though. You got to at least show that.
All right, we'll show a bit of the Sims Vampires.
A little bit of the Sims Vampires. I'll be somewhere, but anywhere.
Yeah.
No. I can't raid him. No. Stop. No, seriously, stop it. Did it stop?
Sparky writes in that he has information I'll be not on tomorrow. When did I say I wouldn't be on tomorrow? Oh, well, some weeks ago I thought I was going to be off
raid somebody
next week,
else,
but then that
bro.
changed.
Anybody
But
else?
even then,
no, I don't want to lose Sparky because Sparky goes and doesn't like the man in red.
my coworker is so last Monday I get on the group call and I'm like, hey guys, here's what we need to know because I'm going to be off next week, so I need to all cover this and that. And then that's when my coworker goes, you're off next week, but I'm off next week. And since I had nothing planned and he's flying to Jamaica, I'm like, tell you what, I'll take the week after. So I'm off the week after. So,
there we go.
yeah,
That
we're
works.
doing a show tomorrow.
Okay. We're going to go over and hang out with DJ Zap on the Green Monster because he's cool. And then we're going to go hang out with the 30 show. Is that what it is? I don't know what the 30 show is. See, I like I like it when WodPro finds new people to raid because I never know who they are. So there we go. And tomorrow, vampires. I want to see vampires.
Vampires.
All right. I'm hitting the button. I have hit the button. Did it work? Did it go?
It worked.
I probably got to hit this button.
I guess it worked.
I probably got to hit